Hey YouTube, SelenesArmory here, and today I'm going to do a field strip of the Walther PK380. I've done a review on this previously, so if you're interested, you can go and check it out if you haven't seen it. Before we get started, I'll go ahead and do a quick safety check on the gun to show you the chamber is empty and the magazine I'll be using today is unloaded. To take down the gun, Walther recommends checking the chamber to make sure there's not a round in there, which we've already done. Put the gun in safe mode, and you don't want the hammer to be cocked. You want it to be in resting position. To take down the gun, you're going to need this key, and you put the key in this hole here next to the takedown lever. Turn the key about 180 degrees, and the key will stop you when it's been turned the entire way, and you'll hear a little click. It's not very audible, but if you listen for it, you can hear it. Pull down the takedown lever. Slide the slide off. Give you a look at the slide in there. And you can have a look at the lower frame. Go ahead and take the guide rod out. You have your guide rod and spring. And your barrel just slides right out. And this gun is dirty. I just took it to the range. So you may see a little bit of carbon on there or see carbon getting on my fingers. And then your gun is completely dismantled. To reassemble the gun, you're going to slide the barrel back in. Then you're going to place the spring on the guide rod. And I want to go ahead and mention here, one of the major complaints about the PK380 is this recoil spring here. It is very hard, I'll go ahead and show you, to just get it back in like this. You have issues with the spring cramping and you can't get the rod to go through the spring. One way to fix that is to take your spring and push it down over the guide rod and then kind of clamp down on it and put it in. The problem with this is I'm a female, so I don't have a very strong grip. My husband and dad can put it in this way, but I cannot. Another trick I've learned is to thread the guide rod through the spring. And this method isn't foolproof, so it may take me a minute. Get a cleaning rod, put it through the guide rod hole here, and kind of stick it about halfway through. Then you put the recoil spring on there and push the cleaning rod until it matches up with the guide rod. And I kind of push it against my sternum here for a little bit of leverage, and it's still tough for me. I'm not going to say this is an easy method, but this is really the only way that I can get the guide rod back into the gun, and it takes me a few tries. Okay, so I got it back in place there. A little bit of a struggle, but practice makes perfect. And there's a little half moon shape down here in the barrel. Just for those who don't know, you want to make sure that that is where your spring or your guide rod is resting. You don't want it to be underneath or to the side. You want to make sure it has a nice snug fit down in there. So you go ahead and take the lower frame, slide it back on. Push it back till it's about even or flush with the back of the gun like that. Slide the takedown lever up and then go ahead and turn your key another 180 degrees. Pull it out. Rack the slide a couple of times to to do a safety check to make sure the spring's in working order. And then I go ahead and take these snap caps here so I can dry fire the gun just to make sure everything's working right. So, take my empty magazine. There's no ammunition in the room, just the snap caps. I'll put about 2 snap caps in there. Go ahead, put them in there. Back the slide of the chamber one, and then just do a dry fire. Make sure everything works, okay? And something I want to point out that I didn't point out in my previous review is the trigger reset on this gun. Since I am dry firing it, you go ahead and rack the slide back. And you can hear an audible click when the trigger resets. Hear that? So I just wanted to point that out. I think you heard it again there. So that is how you take down or field strip the Walther PK380.